Let's say that somebody was coming into our church and they're black, and would they be eligible for membership in our church? Yes, they of course they would. They'd be eligible for membership in our church. But would they be permitted to participate in, embody, and practice what I would call black culture generally in our church? The answer is absolutely not. Why? Because the characteristics that mark black culture as a generalization, in the same way Paul's talking about Cretans on Crete, they are evil, murderous, violent, bestial people. They steal, they kill, they destroy, they look like Satan in how they act. They are sinful to the core. They have besetting sins that are like fatherlessness, sexual immorality. They molest children at a high rate. All of any criminal statistic that you could look at, almost pretty much without exception, they excel at them. What are the besetting sins and characteristics of it? And then you say, could somebody come into lawful church membership embodying that culture? No, they have to self-consciously repudiate that culture. They have to leave it behind, repent of those sins. And not every individual practices those sins, but they could, by no standard, embody those practices and come into membership in our church. Of course not. So when we make this generalization, one of the purposes of it, one of the points of utility for it, is for black people who do not embody that culture to repudiate it, hate it, and also for policymakers to make the kind of political movements and in terms of law and order that would usher in the change over time of that culture. One of them would be something like, I tweeted about this, the law of Moses in Deuteronomy 21 concerning a rebellious child. The law was that if you had a rebellious son, you have a child they're coming up into their manhood and they're rebellious, they don't listen. He lists some characteristics and even though they're disciplined, they will not turn. He says the fathers to bring them out into the town square. This is a rebellious son, and then they stone him to death. They kill him.
And an armed robber would certainly be one of those.
Oh, absolutely. Armed robber, all the ghetto culture.
Violent crime.
Basically, take ghetto culture, it would describe this to a T. If you did that over 3 generations, how much violent crime would you have in the 3rd and 4th generation? Much, much less.
There's just so much hate behind everything that he said. It's extremely ignorant, unprovoked. I don't know why he was speaking this way. There's no way that anyone could tell me I'm taking this clip out of context either. He said everything that he meant. No one has to guess how you feel about black people. A lot of people who do not like black people speak this way on black people. And they speak in a way to say that all black people are bad and they all are criminals and they all do this and they all do that. And another thing, nobody wants to go to your church anyway, bro.
Say that somebody was coming into our church and they're black.
I'm not a pastor, but I feel like that would be a preferable scenario.
You know, people often ask me my opinion because I do a lot of racial things. I am pro-black. I am not anti any other race, not anti anything else. Just because I am very supportive of my community does not mean that I hate your community at all or even want your community to suffer. Because at the end of the day, we are all human. That's just how I feel. But I am very much aware that there's very, very vast differences amongst people, culture, places, and things. One of the things that divides a lot of us is our religion. This would be a very good example of why. This pastor decided to say that we as blacks are prone to be evil people. We're just evil. Our whole race is just evil. But yet, he don't mind you coming to his church. You just can't be a part of his church. See, this is the things that I like. I like for people to show me their racism so I can stay far the fuck away from them. Because I don't need you in my life. I don't need you in my energy. I don't need you around my family. I don't need none of that. I would like to bridge the gap and make it smaller. But it just seems so effortless. I mean, just futile. Like the purpose of us as a human race is to actually survive. That's the purpose. That's the basic principle. But then as a human race, we decided we're going to put differences. And when I say differences, I mean just because we're different does not mean we're better or worse, just different. But we decided to one up and decided to demonize people for just being them. I don't understand. I don't understand how this world works. I never understood how this world works. I'm not a religious person anymore. I'm more of a spiritual person. I've definitely gotten out of organized religion. I think that is just the worst thing that I have ever been through, because it's just so hard for you to just be human. But this, look, it's too late for certain things, but it's not too late to recognize when something is just not for you. It's not. So show me all the races, because I used to want to be kumbaya and everybody get together, but show me all the races so I can just stay the fuck away from them, keep my family away from them, and y'all stay away from me until you guys can understand that I'm human just like you, and me and my family and my friends and everybody else, we're good. I appreciate Trump and all the racists for showing yourselves so I can remove myself from your presence, because you don't get to enjoy my presence. You don't get to enjoy my energy, because I'm dope as hell.
Without exception.
All right, y'all, this is where we've arrived. This is not white Christian nationalism. This is white Christian supremacy. It's the idea that whatever white culture means is superior to black culture. How do they arrive at this idea? Well, one way is to say that Europeans have had the gospel longer than those from other parts of the world, including Africa. And thus those cultures have had a longer time to adjust their mores and practices to Christian teaching. So we arrive at a place where the idea is that to be a Christian is to not only accept the teaching of Christ, but to adopt a European understanding of culture. This is not that far out of the mainstream teaching in Christian America. There are many pastors like this one who are saying these things out loud and proudly, and this has only accelerated since Trump took office over the last 6 months.
Evangelical Christianity has always been rooted in racism and always been rooted in evangelicals using Charlie Kirk as a martyr.
Call Charlie Kirk a modern American martyr for the faith.
Is due to the white supremacist ideas that he upheld. Racist, I think, mass destruction of nations, culture, places, and things, theft of people's ideas, people's culture, people's things. I think the highest rates of child sexual assault are white men. Bestiality is white men. In family incest are white people. But the list can go on about how you're using statistics incorrectly and just lying and being very racist towards black people while welcoming black people into your white church for white people and want black people to be white. It is insane to me that you can be and say you are a Christian and a man of God and be a pastor. You're a pastor and you're coming online and you're spewing hatred, racism, and just straight up fallacies about black people, all while upholding mass shootings, violence, sexual assault, mass theft, destruction. The list goes on of what white culture has done to the world and what white people continuously do to the world. But you want to vilify black people on your platform because you are reaching out to the sentiment of white racist people on the right in this country. Because, like I said, white evangelical Christianity is a form of religious extremism. And that's what's at the forefront and the top of this country. America is a religious extremist country in which white people get to be extremist. And it's just okay. You get to come on and espouse this hate, this hateful message. I want to drive home, guys. This is a pastor. This is a pastor. This is a pastor. So a pastor coming on and not being very Christ-like is not any form of Christianity that's real. These people are in a cult. This is a cult. This is a cult. This is why the Proud Boys, the KKK, all these people come out of this version of Christianity because it's not Christianity.
Okay, so the way this man, this preacher is speaking with so much hate in his tone. I mean, guys, this man describing black folks as unalive, as evil, violent, and even going as far as comparing black folks to Satan. I don't know about you, but to me, it honestly sounds like this man is describing himself. Maybe I missed something. But did I hear him correctly? What exactly is wrong with this guy? And let me just say this. If you're black and you're sitting in that man's church, you are doing yourself and your community, our community, a huge disservice. Because that right there shows you that you don't like yourself. This man doesn't like himself, and if you're sitting in this man's church, you don't like yourself, and you definitely don't love yourself. According to what I've looked into about this man, he's a pastor in Utah at a Mormon church, and if you already know the teachings and beliefs of Mormonism, then you know that this isn't new. Historically, they've pushed the idea that anyone who looks like you or me is a child of Satan, that black folks are evil, that they came to steal and destroy. I mean, Now listen, I'm not gonna hold my tongue on saying what I really, what I mean is, I'm gonna hold my tongue, okay? I'm gonna hold my tongue. I wanted to say something, like, I really wanted to say something about the Mormon church in Michigan that recently caught fire. I will hold my mouth, like, I will hold my mouth, okay? I'll hold my mouth. But I was tempted. And I know you're probably thinking the same thing I am thinking. But let's not even go there right now, okay? We are peaceful people, okay? The thing is, you've already seen from the earlier clips, this video stayed up a ton of attention online. People were shocked. I mean, not really surprised, but shocked that someone can come out in public, and talk like that. Shamelessly. People were outraged. And definitely his kind of people, some of them were learning this nonsense. And people definitely had a lot to say. So let's just keep watching, keep moving, as I keep playing this. And I insist that you watch the last clip. Thomas Bishop, you can find him on TikTok.
In this instance, I implore you to go back and watch that video. Since everybody loves context, go back and watch the video. I'm encouraging you to go back and watch that entire video and then come back. Don't worry, I'll wait. Oh, you're back. Hi. I'm gonna say this one more time. Christianity is a Ponzi scheme. And one of the ways I know that Ponzi scheme is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of time is this. Black Christians and white Christians worship two different Jesuses, or Jesus-I. They worship two different ones. And they have since the goddamn beginning. Since black folks was brought over here in boats, there have been two different Jesuses. The black Jesus is a man of peace. He's the loaves and fishes. He is the Beatitudes. He is the blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. He is the healing of the lepers. He is the sheltering those who are in need. He is the flipping over of the coin table in the temple. He is that Jesus. The other thing that Jesus is, docile. Not very confrontational. White Jesus, on the other hand, is this one. Warrior Jesus. Looks like Kenny Loggins on steroids. He's the pure alpha Ubermensch. That's their Jesus. Swinging a sword, killing his enemies. In the book of Revelations, this is the Jesus supposed to come back for the Jews. That ain't me saying anything wrong. That's in the book. That's in the book. This Jesus believes in supply side economics. Feed the poor, they better get up there and pull themselves up by their sandal straps. Heal the sick. I'm not healing you. That's a pre-existing condition. This Jesus is the one that screamed at Gorbachev to tear down that wall. This is the Jesus they think is coming back. This one. Which is completely opposite of the Jesus that black folks were taught and we were raised up with. Because that Jesus is docile. This Jesus is a warrior. He puts on the armor of Christ and all that warrior talk. This is the Jesus they were looking for. This one right here. The meek better bless themselves because we're taking them out. This Jesus would forgive the funny mustache man. Because, in the last moments, he believed in warrior Jesus. This Jesus is about anger, vengeance, violence, and retribution, which is all a part of the Ponzi scheme that is religion. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people are going to say, well, what about Islam and Judaism, which are the other two branches of the Abrahamic religions? Same thing, fam. Same thing. Same thing. To some Muslims, Allah is a comfort. He is a guide. He speaks to them. He tells them the right way to do things. And in return, they give him submission to the will. To others, he is vengeance, violence, and retribution. The same guy, the Jews go through that same shit. Same shit. It's all a Ponzi scheme. Because if you can bisect your God, is he really a God or is he a figment of your fucking imagination? In order for me to truly get into the heart of religious people, I worship the Kryptonian god of the sun, Ra, R-A-O, Ra, right? And Ra sits in the sky. Every morning I can go out and see him. When it's cloudy, Ra is still there. When it's sunny and hot, Ra is there. Now, as a practicing Raoist, all I gotta do is read the book of Ra and just live it. But you know what I try to do? I try to live more like the Christ that black folks have always worshiped. Even if I don't really believe in any of it, I still try to live my life by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But this man literally sat here and told us all with his whole chest and whatever the fuck he has going on with his facial hair that black folks cannot practice black culture because black culture is murderous, it's violent, it's this, it's that. You have got to be fucking kidding me. You cannot be serious. All you Warrior Jesus fans, the Triple K burns a cross to your God. The Triple K calls itself a Christian organization. Do you think they're talking about black Christians? No. When you cherry pick out of that goddamn book, you can make anything sound rational. This man literally said this shit in this country, in America. Black people can join this church, but they can't practice black culture. What the fuck is that? Black culture is murderous? Are you fucking for real right now? Violent? Are you fucking kidding me? So that was Warrior Jesus fans in January 6th, right? It was Warrior Jesus fans that burned down Rosewood. It was Warrior Jesus fans that burnt down Black Wall Street. It was Warrior Jesus people that put black folks in trees, hence the reason Billie Holiday's song Strange Fruit. That was Warrior Jesus. White Warrior Jesus, the one that looks like Kenny Loggins on HGH. That's your Jesus? But you want me to take your fucking religion seriously? No. And for all of you who are getting ready to distance yourself and say that's not my Jesus, bring your ass back here. Don't move. Because had y'all been straight about this shit since day one, we wouldn't be having shit like this. I put the onus for the way Christians are viewed in America on Christians. Y'all think y'all are persecuted for your faith? No. We are you are not liked, not even persecuted. You are not liked because y'all cannot keep that shit to your life. You have to put it in everybody else's life. Hence the reason Warrior Jesus appeals to you. And for you to try to distance yourself from that shit, you know people like this. Have you called them out? Nope. I literally just got off of a fucking Zoom meeting with the head, heads of Ghost Law Productions Radio.
So let me wrap this up with some real honesty, because what we've just heard from this called preacher, in my eyes, is nothing more than white Christian supremacy dressed up in church clothes. That's exactly what it is. When you listen to the way he's spitting out words, painting black people as unalivers, violent, evil, and even calling black people shaitan, you can't tell me that's anything but hatred rooted in a system that has historically used religion to demonize black folks whilst protecting its own violence. And I'll be straight with you guys. I wouldn't step foot into a Mormon church. I meet these people all the time in my country. The moment I see them, if they're coming in this direction, I face the other direction. I don't even entertain them, not even a hi. If they are seeing me like this, why would I give them my time? Why would I give them my time, even if it was the last thing? I cannot do it. No way, because history has shown us time and time again that these institutions were never built for people who look like you and me. They were built on the foundation that we are lesser than human, that our very existence was tied to sin and darkness, that belief doesn't just stay in the past. It continues to show up in moments like this, whether a preacher feels bold enough to stand at a pulpit and condemn an entire race of people while protecting his, speaking on behalf of, I don't think it's the same God that he's talking about anyway. But let's pause that for a moment and really compare. If we are going to talk about unalivers, violence, and evil, history makes it clear. I mean, I don't even have to describe this. I don't have to say it. I don't have to go in details about this. Yeah, I'm going to skip that part. Okay, let's start with slavery, by the way. The kidnapping, the forced labor of millions of Africans, justified by twisting scripture to say we were cursed, unworthy and destined to serve. I mean, that wasn't black people. That was, palm color people hiding behind the Bible while committing one of the greatest crimes against humanity. Yeah, I said it. Then came colonization, where entire continents were stripped bare, land stolen, resources exploited, cultures erased, and millions unalived, all in the name of spreading Christianity. That wasn't us, that was them. When you hear someone like this preacher in Utah calling us violent, all I can think is projection, because if we're keeping it real, it sounds like he's just describing his own people's history. Yeah, I said it. And let's not even forget the Jim Crow era, the lynchings, the segregations, the burning crosses are carried by men in white hoodies who call themselves Christians. What do you call that? If not evil? What do you call it if not satanic? That wasn't us. That was them. Even today, we see echoes of that violence in the rise of palm color nationalist groups, hate crimes, and mass unalivings. Time and time again, these are men who walk into churches, schools, and grocery stores targeting black and brown people, claiming they're defending their country, their faith, or their way of life again. Who's the killer? Who's the unaliver? Who's doing it? Who's doing the terrorizing? It's not us. So when this pastor comes on stage and unleashes that kind of venom, that poison, I can't take it seriously as a message from God. What I see is a man holding up a mirror to his own community, but pointing the finger outward, hoping nobody notices. But we notice. We see it as clear as day. That's why I said earlier. I will say it again now. He was describing himself. And it's deeper than one man. This is about an entire system that has for centuries used the church to reinforce racism, to normalize hate, and to excuse violence. This is about a long tradition of weaponizing Christianity to uplift or bring peace, but to maintain control and keep black people demonized. That's why I call it palm color Christianity supremacy, because that is what it is. A belief system where witness is holy and blackness is condemned. Now, let me be clear. I know not every white Christian carries that hate in their heart. Yeah. They're allies. People who truly practice love and justice. But this preacher, he's not one of them. He's just another voice echoing the same old lies that they've been, passed down for generations. Lies that they paint on us as dangerous, when in reality, history shows exactly who's been stealing, killing, and destroying. So here's my final thought. If you're black and you're sitting in a church like that, letting someone preach that kind of poison over you, you need to take a hard look in the mirror, because you don't deserve to be in a space that hates you. You don't deserve to be in a space that sees you as less than human. And you certainly don't deserve to bow your head to a system that has never bowed its head to your pain. That's it for me. I want to really hear your thoughts on this. Tell me, drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Go back through history, look at the pattern, connect the dots, and then drop your thoughts down in the comment section, because I know this is a conversation that we need to talk about, guys. I mean, we cannot stay silent on such things, And trust me, I'll be right there in the comment section with you, because this is a discussion worth following. I'll definitely see you in my next video. Please stay peaceful.